Welcome to the Fuzz, where we envision the ideas we'll all be buzzing about in the future.
The Fuzz. In the future.
What will dogs look like?
In the future.
Will podcasts still exist?
In the future.
Will computers take over?
In the future.
What will music sound like?
In the future.
People still wear shoes?
In the future.
What will advertising be like?
In the future.
Will we have computer chips in our brains?
In the future.
Will everyone in the world speak the same language?
In the future.
Will we be ultimately free to float about the universe?
In the future.
The Fuzz starts now. The Fuzz.
Well, the things we talk about on this podcast might seem impossible or even slightly insane. So did rakes, weed whackers, and robotic lawnmowers at one point. And look at our lawns now. Just look at them, Patrick.
They look great.
Well, rakes. We have rakes.
Yeah. On today's episode, we're talking about lawnmowers. Lawnmowers, Shad.
Where would we be without them?
We'd be knee deep, maybe even neck deep in grass.
Would we even have grass? Would we even have lawns if we didn't have lawn mowers?
Probably. I mean, we'd probably have them. We'd have goats or something,
Yeah.
you know.
Be a lot of goats just wandering around, which is not the world that I want to live in.
I don't know. Goats are cute sometimes. But that's the origination of early lawns. They had goats and cattle and stuff that were grazing.
Well, that was like a field, not necessarily a lawn, right?
As a matter of fact, grass lawns first emerged in 17th century England at the homes of large wealthy landowners. And so they would have sheep and stuff that grazed on the land around the house. And then they would have human labor to tend to the grass closest to the home to keep it short. Did you know that?
No, I did not know that. I saw that the invention of the lawnmower dated back to 1830. So I was unclear on what happened before that.
You know, we're talking about lawnmowers, and it's kind of interesting to just look back at the origination of grass. Where did grass start?
Yeah. Well, I even think of this idea of people having, like I said, the idea of a home with like a lawn, which obviously came after the lawnmower, like suburbs and stuff like that, where people are planting lawns versus people living in like country and, you know, having fields and stuff like that. So that's what I was unclear on. When did the idea of having a lawn, you know, in like a city dwelling or having this little like area of grass, when did that come about? But I guess that's probably been around for a long time.
Yeah, they brought it over to North America from England. So I looked up the origination of the word lawn. Comes from Middle English, the word laund, which meant glade or opening in the woods. So you can kind of see, like you said, it's a clearing where grasses were exposed to sunlight and allowed to run wild. Hence, the grass that started to grow up around houses kind of mimicked or resembled that.
So here we are talking about not just the past, you know, what lawns were like in the past, and not just the present. We know what's going on now. We've got lawnmowers, we've got riding lawnmowers, we've got all sorts of tractors, different forms, and we've got, you know, these emerging robots that are mowing the lawn. Would you call those robots? I guess the like Roomba, the outdoor Roomba version of Roomba that kind of mows your lawn.
They're sort of robots. They're robotic in nature.
Yeah, robotic in nature, I guess. What do you see as the future, whether near or far, of lawnmowers? What are you picturing? What do you got?
So my first idea, Shad, it's a little bit of a cheat.
Cheating is allowed here.
I'm going to talk a little bit about something that I mentioned on a previous episode of Speaking Human, number 103.
2018, that was a while ago.
But I mentioned this, and here we are. For all of human history, grass has remained relatively unchanged. Introducing Yas. The lawn so perfect, you'll scream Yas every time you see it. That's YEASS, exclamation point, by the way. This is a new strain of grass seed that requires no mowing. What's that you say? No mowing? Yes, no mowing. Genetically modified grass seed that grows the perfect length and then stops. Some call it a miracle. Yes, calls it a humble evolution of nature with the help of biological engineering. Now, if you remember, we talked a little bit about this on episode 103, and the concept is pretty simple. Why have they not created a grass seed or some form of grass that just grows the perfect length? Why does it continue to grow forever? They could create other things that have stunted growth, right?
Can they?
They can. Think about like tomatoes that don't grow any bigger. There's things out there that they have stunted their growth with genetic altering.
I like the idea. I think you're going right to the source there, right? You're like, instead of messing around with mowers or different contraptions, why don't we just make a better grass?
Right. And I know that that's sort of a cheat. We're talking about lawnmowers. I'm sorry. This is the Fuzz. We think of things in the future. Sometimes our ideas don't line up perfectly with the topic or the title of the show. This is one of those instances where I really I just wanted to get to, like you said, the source. Right? It's grass. How can we make it easier? The easiest possible way is to create a scenario where there's no mowing, right? Like, what if you didn't have to mow?
Yeah. And technically, right, these suburban lawns, shouldn't that grass be evolving to not grow? Like in that scenario when it's just getting cut down, cut down, cut down, cut down?
It's not evolving.
We need to evolve it. There will be, though, somebody will plant all that, and then there's one day, like one blade starts growing up above the rest, and they're like, what is this?
It's a rebellious blade of grass.
Yeah, it's like a Pixar movie.
It's like, I don't want to be small.
What about weeds? Are weeds still getting into gas?
Oh, no, it's perfect. It's the lawn so perfect, you'll scream yes every time you see it.
Do you feel like the name is at all problematic in any way?
No, I think it's perfect.
Okay.
Like the lawn itself, it's perfect. I feel really good about the name.
Okay.
Because it's catchy. You know what I mean? It's like as seen on TV kind of product. Yes.
Yeah.
And it's trademarkable, I'm sure.
Makes me think a little bit of gas and has.
Well, grass.
Yeah. Has that in
It's
there
really-
too. Yeah, it does. But I like you sold when you had the exclamation point.
Yeah.
That's what sold me.
YEASS exclamation.
It makes it much more exciting. Instead of like doing anything with the mower, let's just get rid of the mower. Plant this stuff, boom, you're done. You're out of the game.
Yeah. Think about how much time you have saved.
But how many people are going to scrap their whole lawn, replant?
There is new grass seed, so there is a barrier to entry there for sure. But long term,
Yeah. Building a new home or getting a new lawn. I mean, you know exactly what you're going with. There's no choice there, right?
maybe you don't even need to reseed. Maybe when you put the seed down, it actually corrects the grass you already have. Ooh, that would be even better, right? Because less barrier to entry. Almost like how you throw weed and feed down. It alters the DNA of your grass.
You're saying the Yas could just like take over?
Just like invasive species of plants, you know?
Genetically modified invasive plants. It sounds perfectly safe.
Like I said, there's really no drawback other than it will kill you eventually or turn us all into zombies, you know?
Yes.
It's like I Am Legend, only they weren't trying to cure cancer or whatever it was they were trying to cure. They just wanted to have nice lawns.
Well, it'd be like the first post-apocalyptic world with like, you know how it's all like usually overgrown?
Yeah.
Everything will be like
Perfect grass.
perfect grass. Small price to pay for perfect grass.
Small price to pay for perfect grass. Get yourself some. Yes.
So
what do you got? What do you got?
well, I'll say I went a different direction here with my first idea. A little more traditional, still bending the rules, but though in a way, I'm also messing with Mother Nature, you could say.
I'm excited to hear this.
So maybe you don't want to push a lawnmower. Maybe you don't want to ride a lawnmower. Maybe you just want somebody else to do the work. But you know what? You don't want some weird thing like clunking around your lawn. You want it to be almost invisible or imperceptible, right? Say hello to trimmers.
Oh, it's like tremors?
It's not like tremors. That would be terrible. These little robotic bugs kind of resemble a cross between a dragonfly and a butterfly. You get a little six-pack of them, and they use motion and movement to cut your lawn evenly or even in an ornate pattern if you want. So you just kind of like set them out, program them. They kind of buzz over the top of the grass, cutting the grass with your wings. Now I know what you're going to ask next. What happens if one of them hits you? Is it going to cut you? Is it going to attack you? Is it going to kill you? No. If it hits you, it just falls to the ground. It would feel like a butterfly brushing up against you. No pain, no damage. They're safe for babies. Whatever.
That's the real test. If it can be safe for babies, it's good.
Yeah. Perfect for babies. They'll just do their gig, go back into their little recharging shell. And that's trimmers, AKA buzzers. Another name I work with. I don't know if that seems less appealing to me. You do have to pay a little extra if you want edgers, which are a different robot bug-like creature that'll edge the lawn also. Potential tagline, trimmers, what everybody's buzzing about. They do a little slight, just a light, like a white noise kind of as they're at work.
I love that. I really like the attention to detail with the butterfly wing. It's so soft. It hits you, it just falls over. It's fine.
Well, a lot of these things, almost everything we think of in the future, you have to what's the injury potential there, right? How many people is it going to kill? What's the lawsuit you're looking at? You got to kind of keep that in mind here. So I always like to add that component in.
And you program these, right?
Yeah, you would have to kind of somehow cover the geography of your lawn or your space so that they're not just going all over the place.
So there's no real artificial intelligence in them or anything. They're just...
I would think once they know what they're doing, they kind of know the terrain. So you program them once, they learn what they're doing.
Okay, so that's good. So they're not going to turn on us.
I mean, any robot potential, right? So the potential, right? These are robot sort of bugs released into the environment. There's a potential of mating with
real bugs
and creating something. I'm just throwing this out there.
What? That is insane.
I don't think it would happen, but we don't know. You mean at least once you put robots into the world, we don't know what's going to happen. Have movies taught you nothing?
That's insane. I'd never even occurred to me that they'd be mating with other bugs.
Yeah, and then we've got this hybrid robots
that can cut your grass.
Yeah, gently land on babies.
Is that bug trying to kill that baby? No, it's just gently landing.
Why are they all over the baby?
I like that. I like that you have different bugs for different jobs around the lawn, like edging, edgers, trimmers.
Yeah. Maybe you could even have some sort of call to call them back, like a word you would say, and they'd all come flying back into their case.
What would that word be?
Trimmers, return.
I think it pairs nicely with my other idea. It's kind of similar. I have to start off by singing the jingle.
Okay. It's always a good idea.
When you think of mowing and you start to moan, consider landscaping with your lawn drone. See where I'm going with this? That's right, boys and girls. The lawn drone is your solar-powered lawn buddy. Why settle for a lawnmower that you need to push? It's $20.49 in a kid's voice. I would want a kid's voice saying that. It's $20.49. The lawn drone has become the world's most sought-after automated lawn maintenance system. Hovering just feet off the ground, the lawn drone takes the guesswork and legwork out of maintaining a pristine yard. With an intelligent flight system, the lawn drone has virtually no setup, Shad. Right now, the marketing is actually talking directly to you because this is in the future, right?
I might take that and put that in trimmers.
Simply take the drone out of the box, say hello, and presto. Your lawn drone will analyze your homestead for the optimal grass length and get to work. See how it's starting to mirror and line up almost parallel to your trimmers. So remember, when you think of mowing and you start to moan, consider landscaping with your lawn drone. 0 emissions, 0 noise, 0 setup time, and 0 effort. The only difference between this and yours, one of the big differences is these have artificial intelligence. So there's no programming. They analyze, they know the grass properties, let's say. What does grass look like? They go to the lawn.
Yeah. And I imagine they're a little bigger, like a flying Roomba.
Yeah, I was thinking the size of a water bottle or something like that.
I like the idea, and I do feel like the logical next step once they figure out the best version of the autonomous mowing, whatever that is, or however that works out, once they get that down, the next logical step is let's put it in the air, right? Let's get some sort of airborne like drone version of that, whether it's like swooping down and kind of like cutting.
Yeah, because if you think about it, wheeled mowers, they do the job. There's so many different kinds of terrain that you have to consider. So the drone idea or the flying trimmers, they don't have to worry about that because they're off the ground.
Yeah, you can get a much more even cut just like flying right above the surface, which seems logical. Now this, which I think is a good idea, and I really like the jingles, of course. You always grab me with a jingle. You got a good campaign already built in. It's like old-fashioned and futuristic at the same time.
Yeah, that's what I was going for.
Real down-home style.
Anytime you start something off with, that's right, boys and girls.
I like that you're marketing it to children too.
Yeah. Well, we're all adult versions of kids.
Totally. But yeah, here's the nice lead in to my next one, which also features drones. And this is not fully formed, but I was trying to get at a different sort of audience with this.
Okay.
Now this one's called Mow Mimics.
M-O-W.
M-O-W. Yeah, Mow Mimics. Yeah. Okay. So now who I was trying to reach with this one was a very specific audience, which I think is actually a lot of people, right? Maybe more than you might think. And this is the homeowner who still wants to be involved in mowing, but doesn't want it to be as time consuming, right? So wants some of the mowing experience or some of the control of it. They just don't want it to monopolize their life. They want to be outside. They want to have other outdoor projects. They want to get stuff done. So they want to do some of it. They just don't want to do all of it. That's what the Mow Mimics are for. So as you mow, a pair of drones shadow you and mimics what you're doing, cutting your mow time down by 2/3. So they can also learn from you and copy your behavior so they can get started ahead of time or finish without you. Or even occasionally, if you want, they could do the whole job. But again, it's not necessarily what they're built for. And the question is, why don't they always do the job? This is for that particular person who mostly wants to still be involved, do some of it themselves. They want to feel like, hey, I'm still kind of mowing the lawn. It's kind of like you're multiplying yourself, essentially. The multiplicity principle. You're still out there doing it. Yeah. You're just doing it faster. You're getting more done at the same time.
Do they resemble Michael Keaton?
They should. Maybe they're like flying Keaton heads.
Yeah, from Multiplicity.
Yeah.
For our listeners out there who don't know that movie, watch it today.
Yeah. Or they could have the voice of Michael Keaton. Like, does that look good? You happy with my work? The tagline with this one, less time mowing, more time loving it.
Let me just tell you, you nailed it. There is an audience, like you said, who wants to be involved, who actually do like, it's therapeutic in a way to mow their lawn, right? So I love that it hits that audience, because I think it's such an important thing that sometimes we overlook when we say we're just going to automate everything.
Yeah. That was kind of my thought too. And I think of myself, I'm like, I don't mind mowing the lawn. I like doing it sometimes, but sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just don't have the time, or sometimes I'm like, man, I wish I didn't have to do it all the time, or this day I really have to rush to get it done. Sometimes it'd be nice to have the Mow Mimic there to just make it quicker for you or get a little bit done for you. Maybe you can start a half hour before I'm ready to get out there, and then I'll do the rest, or something like that.
Yeah.
Just give you that little bit of head start, or that little something extra.
Yeah, it's kind of like what we all need sometimes, is just a helping pair of hands. And nobody wants to come over and mow your lawn for you. So the Mow Mimic, perfect.
It's the good alternative. And yeah, I think a lot of these things we've done today all go together. Almost be like one product that does all these things.
But clearly, Yas
is the need for everything. Yas is a standalone. Yeah. It's a game changer. You know what I want? Youse, which is like no maintenance house.
Youse.
You working on that one?
The house so perfect. You'll scream youse every time you see it. You'll say it in Christopher Walken's voice.
Youse.
Youse. This is the perfect house.
I think you've given him like a German accent now. This is the perfect house.
This is the perfect house. Youse. Schwarzenegger. Walken.
I'm not Australian.
Yeah, no, it's real good. The drones are really their own thing. And then Mimic, I love the way that one does not go a complete automated route. It kind of takes into account the emotional sort of connection that people have with doing the lawn themselves, right?
Yeah. Whereas the other ones are like reaching the people who just don't want to do it.
Which there are plenty of both probably groups out there. No, those are really good.
Well, that's all for this episode of The Fuzz. Tune in next time for more of tomorrow's buzz today. You got to chew on it a little.
For what? For more of tomorrow's buzz.
When? When will I get it?
Will food still taste good?
Is that about the future?